Hello, friends and everyone alike. Thank you for joining us for this episode of BS Sessions, part of Time to BS Podcast Studios. Joining me, Staniel Smooth, for Volume 17 of BS Sessions is Zach Keilman of the Gridiron Gallery Podcast, which we talk music, movies, and God knows what. Even sandwiches, too. Thanks for tuning in, guys. And as always, enjoy the show. Hello, friends, and welcome to BS Sessions Volume 17. Joining me for BS Sessions is member of the Unhinged Brethren, Zach Keilman of the Gridiron Gallery Podcast. And I hope I start off with a quick ASMR.
Oh, so crisp. That was so crisp.
It's even better. Hold on. I gotta get this right.
Yeah, gotta get close.
I'm doing this on my computer, so it's kind of risky.
Oh, yeah, you can hear it there.
You can hear it? Yeah.
Just a bit of the glug.
Nice. What's up, dude? How you been? Good to see you.
It's been good. Just a lot of hecticness with the show lately, at least Gridiron Gallery in particular. And we started doing videos for Beyond the Press Box, so I'm the video editor. So I just got a little more on my plate than usual,
Good. Yeah, we're trying to get back on YouTube. We're in spurts on YouTube, but what we're going to try and do is stick to straight audio format.
Ooh, okay.
We're going to stick to that. It's going to be more editing for me, so yay.
Yay, right. I relate very much so. But,
it's going to suck, but it is what it is.
The end result's beautiful, though.
The end result is beautiful, but what I would like to do is get more, video footage on it, but the editing software I use is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Pain in the ass.
I feel you, man. I feel you.
And uploading to YouTube itself takes hours.
Yeah.
It takes hours.
But you get it. That's mostly been me lately. It's just, I just have fully decided, screw it. I'm going to jump in and do more editing, and I don't care. I will figure out the other stuff. I mean, not saying I'm just editing and then the rest of my life's thrown away, but figure out the rest as we go along.
Yeah, I mean, I'm busy as all hell, outside of the podcast world. But I've always found ways to just, even if it means me going solo at midnight, I gotta do something. Yeah, even if the shows are 20 minutes shorter from what I like to be, I try my best. Just hey, I gotta do this. Oh, by the way, you like the shirt?
Oh yes, I do.
Yeah.
Defining Moment, man. They did a great job with those.
Yeah, they do. You know them?
Well, I've looked into them ever since you were talking with them.
Yeah. No,
so I got curious.
He's really chill. He actually, I'm trying to find. We're trying to come up with a date for me to go on his show. So.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, it'll be fun, but we're trying to come up with dates, of course. Storm season's approaching Oklahoma, and it's getting crazy busy for him, and for me especially. But it's going all right.
Okay, not bad. Yeah, sure, it looks great though. I definitely say merch is nice.
It's so comfy.
Yeah,
probably my comfiest shirt that I own. It probably is. It's so soft.
Mm-hmm.
So nice.
I feel you. Yeah. You get a good one. You just stick with it for a while. This
Yeah,
one has been around probably since, I'm not joking, this is like a freshman year at college or high school. So
shirt.
you have just a little,
I had a Macho Man shirt in middle school. I don't know what happened to it, but I think what happened. No, I remember actually what happened to it. I was taking a welding test. I blew a hole through the shirt and caught on fire. It caught on fire. While I was wearing, I'm like, I smell smoke. Why do I smell burning flesh?
Oh God.
But I've always tried to find ways to to pass the time outside of podcasting, whether it's movies, drinking my ass off, not all the time, going for workouts or shit like that. Are you a big movie person? I can't remember.
Well, yeah, I honestly, if you talk to me and you ask me a movie list, it'd probably be complete hit or miss. I don't go to theater often. And I think the pandemic's kind of made me realize I'm more of a drive-in movie guy. I am not a sit in the theater guy.
See, we don't have drive-in theaters. We have one on the island, but it's like way the hell out east.
Okay, well define the. I know you're on the island, but like specifically, like if I'm talking like
Okay, so
the
yeah,
length
good
of the
point.
island, what end am I looking at here?
Okay, so good point. If we were to look on the map, here,
We're looking on your arm.
I'm here. I'm somewhere in the middle of the island.
Okay.
Out east is about a 2.5 hour drive.
Oh, so this thing's like on the coast.
Yeah, it's on the coast. Yeah.
That
So
sounds lovely.
it's out there. No, the oceans are beautiful out there.
Yeah, I mean that sounds
If you were
great.
if you were to find your way to go to the island, to find your ass somehow to come to Long Island, the first place you should go to is Montauk Point. It is the longest drive, about close to 3 hours from where I am. But it's worth it. It's so worth it.
I'll tell you one thing. I know I'm not going to Long Island anytime soon this year. I mean, hey, can aspire whenever, but you might laugh. I don't know. You might laugh at this just because I know that this is a stigma I always hear about, those who live in New York or near New York City. Well, I'll possibly be going to New Jersey at some point in late May. Friends trip is what it is, but I think it's in Trenton.
The thing about Jersey is that it's northern New Jersey is a dumpster fire.
Okay.
It's a shithole. It really is. As you get to South Jersey and Western Jersey, like towards Pennsylvania and towards the mountains, it gets really nice.
Okay.
So I get why they call it the Garden State a little bit, but when you first go on the turnpike, it's like this shit doesn't make any sense here. Why is it the Garden State? Why is it shit? I don't get it.
Well, that clears a little bit up.
Because you're in Indiana, right? You're in Indiana.
Yes, yeah, I'm Indianapolis. So I mean, although here's the funny thing with me, I grew up in Northwest Indiana. So the two counties that I was mainly living in, actually three, they're all like Chicago-esque, like culture and like also stigma. Also just you get Chicago media, so only the Chicago television and radio stations really come through. So like it's like a little bit of Illinois that just kind of bled over. And then once you leave like that 4-county range in that northwest corner up by Lake Michigan, the state just completely changes on you, and
it just turns into Colts country.
Well, yeah, it turns into Colts country. I don't remember that much growing up, like southern drawl up near where I live, but as soon as you like go slightly south of those counties, all of a sudden the y'alls come out, and I'm just like, what in the world?
What?
And I've been living in central Indiana since I went to college, so about 19. So it's been 7 years of me adjusting to that, and I've slightly gotten that down.
Right. We have rednecks over. If you were going to the South Shore of Long Island, like the southeast part of Long Island. Most of that is redneck country.
Okay.
So it gets interesting to say the least, but it's also people like when people talk about Long Island, they expect, oh, it's so nice, the beaches are so nice. Yeah, until you get to the middle of the island where it's just shit. Like stay the fuck away from there. I have to think of it like this. There are 3 main train lines that connect the island. There is the southern line, the middle line, and the North Shore. The North Shore is rich, pompous assholes who drive the Mercedes SUVs all over the goddamn place.
Okay.
And it's the worst part. And the worst part is because I have to drive into the city every now and then for work. So I'm driving commercial van, and these stupid fucking Mercedes cars. It's always them. Always is them. They drive so slow. I could be going, I'm going like 65, 70 to 55 mile an hour, which is technically not considered speeding in New York State. I don't know why, but it isn't. Haven't got pulled over yet, but knock on wood. But these fuckers are going 45 or going 45 or under in a 55. Just because they drive a Mercedes.
Got to be careful with the mobile,
Oh, sure.
I mean, to the expense of everyone else in crowded, traffic area that is New York from everything I see and have been told in my life.
Oh, God. What have you been told about New York? Like, let quiz
Well,
my brain.
that's kind of funny. Like, because my brother is the only one in my family, I think, that's gone to New York City, if I last remember. Which I've never been. Honestly, it's kind of I want to visit some point. But I know one thing I always have known, and this is also because I helped run I helped like monitor WPIX television out there, the CW station.
Good shit. Yeah.
So just a lot of traffic, a lot of traffic.
A lot of traffic is an understatement.
I mean, that's
in Manhattan, and
I'm definitely not specifying it right.
In the 5 boroughs of New York City, Manhattan, Queens, Brooklyn, Bronx, Staten Island, all traffic.
Right.
It's stop and go traffic, but when we're stopping, it's stop, like parked. But when you're going, it's like 80 miles, like 55 or over.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like everyone's in a rush.
Right. That's kind of what I remember. I don't know, something else I guess I always just think, Manhattan first off. I think a lot of my interpretations of New York really come from either that or a lot of the Marvel like Netflix shows, for example. So like, for example, you have Daredevil, his is based in Hell's Kitchen. You have Luke Cage, it's Harlem.
Yes.
Well, Jessica Jones is like more Manhattan-ish, I believe. And then similar-ish for Iron Fist. And this is me kind of getting nerdy. That's like some of the stuff I will watch.
Pick your brain. Let's pick your brain.
I'm being honest. That's like when those shows are going on, I was a mega fan of them. And I'll watch the Marvel movies to keep up. And that just adds into my TV perspective. But like, that's my knowledge of New York is like, okay, you got Harlem, which I looked up as more like northern New York. And it's kind of like
northern Manhattan. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Harlem to a degree is okay.
Okay.
I say to a degree because most of the 5 boroughs of New York City is shit. It's shit because when you look at New York City, most people are looking at the skyline and nothing else. When you see the skyline, especially in a light snowstorm at night, it is beautiful, gorgeous sight. I will admit that. But other than that, stay the hell away from the city. Stay the hell away from there. That is for sure. God.
Oh, you're killing me. I want to visit at least one point. I'm one of those guys that like praise. I'm one of those guys that praises Chicago, so I have to check out the
check
other
out the city. One. Check out the city and go to Long Island, and then go to the island. Go to Long Island when you can, because the pizza. I swear by these.
Oh boy, are you doing a pizza discussion?
So, I am what you would call a sandwich enthusiast.
Okay.
Basically, particularly deli sandwiches. So whenever I'm going on the road for work or for God knows what, I find myself, there we go.
I had to do it. I'm sorry, but you're a deli guy, huh? I'm not. I guess I can't be surprised completely.
Well, considering where I used to be worse, like almost 2 years ago, because I was, what was I? I believe the weight I was like 340 pounds.
Oh, wow. All right.
Well, I probably told this story a bunch of times, but not fun. Not fun. And when I've lost all the weight, I'm still find myself getting a sandwich every now and then, but I'm very picky on my sandwiches.
Sure.
And it's got to be, it's got to be certain things added to it. It's got to be, a meat or like over one meat. It has to be 1 or 2 types of meat. One kind of cheese, some kind of, salad part, like whether it's tomato, onions, lettuce. You got to have a cheese in there. Got to have a cheese.
Fair enough.
If you have, chicken in there or some kind of roast beef, get it melted. You got to get the cheese melted.
Yeah.
You got to get it melted. Particularly if you have like Gouda or Munster cheese, it's really good melted.
You're talking my language with the Munster, man. That's one of my favorites.
Yes.
Yeah, that right there. I'll go for Munster, man.
So I have a whole I kid you not when I tell you this. I have a whole notes section dead on my phone titled Dan's Sandwiches. I kid you not.
Got to be sure about that.
Gotta be sure of like what sandwich do I want today? Okay. Chicken cutlet, bacon, Munster cheese, tomato, coleslaw, and honey mustard on Hero.
You got me with the coleslaw. I don't. Most people don't see. It's funny. You don't see coleslaw often as a sandwich topping, but honestly, it would be a great one.
It is really good on a. I was turned on to coleslaw from lobster rolls when I went up to New England, went up to Connecticut.
Another area I want to visit, New England or Maine.
Go to Mystic, Connecticut. You'll never forget it.
Keep that in mind.
It's a beautiful harbor town, gorgeous. And I got lobster rolls over there. I got lobster rolls, no vinegar, coleslaw, just mountains of coleslaw and fries. Cool. So good. And I was like, this is delicious. And then my brain started, the one gear in my head started to turn, specifically the tiny sandwich gear started to turn like, I wonder. So I'm like putting coleslaw on mostly all my sandwiches.
See, I'm a big texture guy with like some of that stuff. So like that's kind of why I'd be digging that, because I like the crunch added in there.
Yes.
You know, and the coleslaw, I mean, you can get like vinegary, tangy. It just blends well with like the meat that you can add. So I like that. Where was that deli that you were at the other day that you were like, look at how much they packed in here. That's the way to make a sandwich. I'm just like, that's definitely a way to make a sandwich.
So I work like 2 or 3 minutes away from where I live, which is not bad. And then there's a couple delis. There are 2 different delis. There's one called Cookies, it's like a bullshit Subway, basically.
Okay.
It's more bland Subway, to put it that way. But it's all right. It's a good deli for what you get. And then there's something called Nick's Grill, which is one of my personal favorites. And the guy who owns the place, really chill, makes his own pizza from scratch.
Ooh, okay.
He's from Brooklyn, so it makes it even better. And he makes his own sandwiches. And he's like, okay, Danny, what do you want? What do you want? Let's pick the brain. What do you want? And so I tell him, okay, let's see what we got here. Honey glazed ham, American cheese, BLT with honey mustard. And he makes his own honey mustard.
Oh, okay. So
he makes his own honey mustard. So it's like, I usually get with mayo, but I went with the honey mustard because they said it was because he told me it was homemade. So I got it on a Hero, and so good. It was delicious.
You're talking my language, homemade, and you're saying that like you got your own recipes and all that. You know, that's right. That's right up my alley. God, there's not really many deli. At least I haven't found a good deli in Indianapolis. Now, credit, I'm still exploring my own city. I have been a lot around, but I haven't been all the way around. But I mean, I'm a big Subway guy, so that's kind of my main go-to as a sandwich. There's no good, and before I know you're laughing, I see it. There's no good sandwich shop nearby.
Good sandwich in Indianapolis.
I mean, look, if I wanted to go if I want to be, not toast my sub and maybe better meat, I'll go to Jimmy John's. That's all I got near my work when I have to go.
Okay, it's fine.
Lunch run.
Hey, Jimmy John's acceptable. It's fine.
Okay.
But it's like, I like Subway, but when it's like last resort, I will go to Subway.
I see.
For my sandwiches. Jersey Mike's to a degree.
Okay.
Is all right, but they're also greasy subs. But when I want something heavy, like to last you for the whole day, I get a Philly cheesesteak.
God, I love looking up some stuff. We have a few Philly cheese places around here. They're not delis or anything. They're just like
enter your wheelhouse, by the way, of sandwiches.
What's that?
Did we just enter your wheelhouse sandwiches?
Well, here, you know what? I'll give you my usual. So, if I'm going to Subway, I generally like to do something that's like chicken. So, like a buffalo chicken sub is pretty good, or I'll do like even like a sweet onion chicken teriyaki. Not to be that, but in sub terms, I'm definitely more of like I definitely more like sandwiches that are like, give me the Italian meats, salami, the
Yeah,
pepperoni,
yeah.
like that. Like,
Prosciutto, you like
like
that?
I'll do a good shaved one like
Oh,
that. Definitely some provolone. I love a little bit of spice, so hot peppers I always throw on there.
that's
Stuff
good.
the hell out of it with lettuce and tomatoes, if you will, onions. Just I'm a big, like I said, big texture meets flavor. I
Yes.
love the
You
crunch.
gotta have flavor there. You can't just have a bland sandwich and
Absolutely.
expect it
You know,
to taste good. You gotta have some flavor in
yeah. I mean, well, yeah, you got to. I mean, you got to make it taste good.
there. You have to.
But that's the
Otherwise,
thing.
you're
I
not
don't,
enjoying the sandwich.
off the top of my head, I don't know of any. And someone, if they're from Indianapolis and listen to me right now, they're probably like, there's a good deli somewhere, and I'm just like, I haven't found it yet, and that's just, well, maybe it's on
I
me.
found
You
it.
know,
It's probably I have to 3 hour drive because Indiana's so fucking huge.
I mean, it
I gotta
isn't.
go
I
to
mean,
corn country. I gotta fucking go to the cornfields. I gotta find a really good. That's another thing. If you find yourself coming to Long Island, sweet roasted corn.
that's just the
Yes,
thing that's
yes.
really popular in Long Island.
Uh, that's not the most popular thing on Long Island, but when you go out east, it's really fucking good. Like roasted sweet corn. It's
Okay.
delicious.
Hmm.
But we're very popular with our bacon, egg, and cheese breakfast sandwiches and our bagels.
Dude, I there's one bagel shop that I know of in Indy that's pretty good, and it's
Okay.
just called Broad Ripple Bagel Deli. Which, by the way, for those listening here, Indianapolis, there's some of the major spots like that are like to hang out and go to, at least that I go to. You got Broad Ripple, more northern Indianapolis, kind of slightly closer downtown, but it's like some people consider it like the college towns for Butler University generally. You got Fountain Square, which is, in my opinion, hipsterville. It's definitely it's hipster eccentric. I'm serious. That's kind of what it's labeled as.
It's just
It's
describe
hipsterville.
Chelsea, Manhattan in a nutshell.
Yeah, man. And then you got a Mass Ave, which is basically it's pretty much like the mid-20s, like upper scale hangout area if you wanted to go there, and that's more in downtown itself. So
It's just there.
yeah, it's just there.
It's just
A lot of
basically
nicer
there.
places. Exactly.
Oh
Yeah.
God. So you said before you're a big Marvel guy. Like, can we pick your brain in terms of the Mount Rushmore of all-time Marvel movies
Ooh.
outside of Infinity War, outside the Avengers movies?
Well, that is
So,
quite
like,
the question.
the first Avengers film, Age of Ultron, Infinity War, Endgame. Outside of those 4 movies, what's your Mount Rushmore?
Oh, so I can count Civil War in this question.
You can count Civil War to a degree, yes.
Okay. Because I mean, I could argue that's an Avengers movie, even though it has Captain America: Civil War as the title. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's see, Mount Rushmore. Ooh, I gotta add Captain America and the Winter Soldier. That's
That
gotta
was
be
really good.
that has to be my tops. I love the espionage angle to it, and just kind of the twist going, oh my God, that's Bucky Barnes. Because you think, well, I saw the original film in 2011, and he's dead. Like
he fell off a train.
Off a train. Like he's not there anymore.
He survived.
But that one I think would be like if I'm gonna pick the head here, it would be like my my George Washington on there.
All right, but all right, let's make this easier. Let's make this easier to more you. If you were to go, like, what's your number 1 seeds? Your 4 number 1 seeds in terms of Marvel movies? Because you already
to keep the sports angle of our network.
Angle there because we're usually not sports talk here on BS sessions, but fuck it, let's go.
Screw it. I mean, yeah, if it's that light of a reference, why the hell not, right?
Yeah, why not?
So I mean, yeah, Captain America: The Winter Soldier is instantly a number 1 seed for me. I think that you got to put the original Iron Man in there because it blew people's expectations out of the water, and it's what launched the universe that we know of. So it's got to be in there too. I'm gonna cheat, I feel like, but I will add Civil War just for the way that there's so many plot twists and just every hero you can imagine meeting up. It's the first one of the MCU with Spider-Man in it, so I mean, you got to be surprised, you got to be stoked for that one too.
Oh yeah.
I mean, all the fight scenes in there are great as well, and the ending is just perfect because it's like, yeah, sure, we resolved the conflict and put away Baron Zemo, but there's Zemo, but at what cost? I love endings like that where
Oh
it's,
yeah.
it's like, okay, cool, we can have a movie that's a happy ending, but like, how about we had an ending where it's like, yeah, sure, something got accomplished, but like, did it really? Or like,
It really,
maybe,
or we're fucked here. So
what did you lose to gain this? Like, I like that.
yeah.
Let's see if I'm adding the fourth seed here, just thinking through my list. Ooh, I gotta go with Guardians of the Galaxy, the original. I think they did a great. I thought it was an excellent swerve where they just went completely off the wall with how they ran a story.
Yeah.
It was much more comedical than just like some of the campy humor.
Yeah, they went ape shit on that one.
Yeah, they just decided to go, let's take that humor, jump off the deep end, and make even serious moments like we're gonna laugh our asses off at it and have a good time. Even when the universe is about to be destroyed, we're still having a good time and having a dance fight trying to distract Ronan.
Which, by the way, I knew when I first saw that because I used to grow up with comic books. I used to read comic books as a little kid, and I remember Ronan. I was like, "Where have I heard that name before? I've heard it from somewhere. I know." And so I was watching my uncle, and he's a bigger comic book nerd than I was.
Okay,
because we're going back, 30 years plus of experience over me. So he said, think about it. I'm like, okay. He's one of the Kree. It's like, yup, there you go. Like, Captain Marvel's in this. Like, oh my God. Captain Marvel, technically Ms. Marvel, but
yeah, I get you.
I never understood that. What the fuck? Like, they renamed Captain Marvel Shazam. How dumb is that? Because I grew up knowing him as Captain Marvel. And then
there's surprisingly a lot of Marvel characters between both Marvel and DC that it kind of amazes me that one of them existed for a while like that. Yeah. The rival comic book company,
Yeah. And like I love the Marvel, I love the new Marvel movies past, the Incredible Hulk. I did get into the Incredible Hulk. I remember, watching the few buddies of mine in my family, like eating mountains of KFC in the process. It was awesome. We were just, we got like 6 buckets of chicken.
Oh, Jesus.
Fucking chow down on the chicken. Yeah, this is
6 buckets of KFC. What the hell?
Between the 5 of us, we got 6 buckets of KFC.
I mean, yeah, like, I knew you had some friends, but I think maybe specifying how many friends would have also helped in this. Like, oh God, 6 between like 2 other people. Like,
metabolism though. Your metabolism must be through the fucking roof.
Okay, I understand. Although that has left me in recent years, so
You and me both. But I loved Winter Soldier. I loved that film. Civil War, yeah, I did like it. The first Thor movie was really good in my eyes. The first Iron Man film, I loved that one. And I loved the soundtrack of Winter Soldier. But if we're going if we're to include the 4 Avengers movies in there, I think I don't understand the hate with Age of Ultron.
I don't know, man. I mean, my only issue with Age of Ultron was just my understanding of what Ultron means to the Avengers, and it kind of, I don't know. I feel like he could have been left for like another after Thanos type of thing.
Ultron, when they first introduced Ultron, like, oh, they're gonna do something with here. They're gonna do something, and then they're either gonna do something with Vision, or they're gonna find a way to beat Thanos in this. And then, I was partially right with Thanos.
Yeah.
And when Vision came along, I'm like, oh, there he is. How you been, buddy? Good to see ya.
Yeah. I love that. That was nice to have him brought in. So I liked how they did that. I don't know, man. I just from what I know, I used to have a Marvel encyclopedia that I would like have all the characters, and they would tell like backstories and like some major comic moments, and like there is a comic line where Ultron kind of destroys the Avengers and breaks them apart, but like at the cost of him dying off. So it's just like, I'm like, man, you could have saved that, but I get why they used it here in this sense. Also, I love James Spader. Blacklist, when I used to watch the first few seasons,
I loved him as
he's amazing.
He's awesome.
You know, yeah, I love his voice, and his snarkiness was perfect for that role. Yep. So I want more of him, and I hope that
I can't physically throw up in my mouth, but if I could, you would see.
I hope
I love
that line. He cracked me up. Like he was perfect for it. You know,
what pissed me off about that film though is Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch.
Yeah,
there are 2 members of the XMen in there.
You know,
that's what I didn't get. And then when they mentioned Stryker, I'm like, what the fuck? Where's X-Men?
I can give you a reason, and it deals with copyright, trademarks, and deals that Marvel did.
Because I loved the X-Men films. I loved them. I could make a fair argument that X-Men Last Stand before Infinity War was the best Marvel movie ever made.
Ooh. I mean, those earlier X-Men films were really decent.
Awesome. Those are awesome.
You know, like X1, X2, I'm fans of those. Last Stand was good. So
loved Last Stand.
Mm-hmm.
And then people were like, "Oh, where are the X-Men?" When Deadpool came out. When Deadpool came out, it was like the X-Men were reintroduced because at that time it was starting to fall off a cliff a little bit.
Yeah.
And then Deadpool came along and was like, "Oh, X-Men, they're still here.
They're kind of here." You know, I love that Deadpool did become this big thing. That's one of my tops. If it's Rushmore of like all of them combined, you know, I might swap out like say, I probably would swap out Iron Man just because I just like the Deadpool comedy and makes it just it's just fun. You know, it's a fun movie.
Mm-hmm. It makes sense.
Yeah.
And who do you think is going to be the next villain for the what was it? Phase 4?
Oh God,
I have an idea for you.
Yeah, please pitch it because, like I said, what?
Super Skrull.
Super Squirrel.
Super Skrull.
Super Skrull. Oh, Super Skrull. For some reason, I heard Squirrel. I'm like Squirrel. That's
what
not.
The fuck, is my microphone working?
No, you're good. I'm like, what are we talking about? Squirrel Girl? Like that's not.
No, Super Skrull. He's a mutated Skrull.
Yes, which I mean, the Skrull are going to be part of definitely these next few Galactic movies, or the Galactic phase of it. So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, of course, in the first one, you know, we were all duped because we thought the Skrull were going to be the antagonists, and later we learned they weren't. So,
do you remember Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2? Do you remember the end of the? You remember the end of the film where there was who the fuck are those people? The gold people. Who the fuck are they?
Oh, I don't remember the race, but I remember that's who they.
Do you know who they were trying to introduce? Adam Warlock, who's one of the Guardians of the Galaxy. He was actually supposed to be the holder of the Mind Stone. He was supposed to be the holder of the Mind Stone. But they gave it to Vision for no fucking. But I don't know. They're probably gonna fuck something up here.
Yeah, they got to make it some interpretations. You know,
that would be cool. That would be cool if Adam Warlock does, you know, get involved because he's powerful as fuck.
Dude, I'm just along for the ride for what they have at this point. It's kind of this like weird calm before the storm, like trying to feel out where they're going with this after the events of Infinity War. Still,
Galactus has to be involved here. Where is Galactus? Where is?
I think that's one. And now, I mean, you're gonna have the X-Men coming at some point. You have the Fantastic Four. They're announcing that they're making a movie for them now. They have the rights. What?
Oh, they're making a new one?
That I understand they're supposed to be making a new one.
Please pray to the movie gods that this is a good film.
Well,
please.
If I want to take a solid bet on Disney and how Kevin Feige basically beats into it that you need to make a story that fits the comics and follows, you know, the Marvel winning formula, yeah, he might make a good one.
Yeah.
So I have faith. I have a lot more faith that they'll get this one right.
Yes.
And because I still have the bad taste in my mouth from watching Fan Four Stick when I was in college, and that one has never left me.
What the The most recent one?
Yes, where most of the movie we spend watching them get going towards the space, towards the device to send them to an alternative dimension, and then
Oh,
at the last third of the movie they get powers, and then it's like, oh, we'll just hunt down Reed Richards, and oh yeah, the movie ends there now that we're all together because we defeat Doom in like 10 minutes.
oh.
It is
I
so
love Dr. Doom.
fast paced. Like I hated it so much.
Stupid. So
It's
dumb.
like, I've never seen a movie waste so much time on an origin story like Fan Four Stick did back when it was released. It's so bad how they paced that film.
Oh,
And I'm not even a movie guy, but my background's TCOM, so at least I have enough to know where it's like, yeah, this is garbage. Like you wasted
yeah,
way
it doesn't
too
make
much
some fucking sense.
development.
Like I grew up with Star Wars. Like I grew up with Star Wars, Lord of the Rings. I'm getting a tattoo of a Star Wars quote eventually.
You have like a top 3 you're gonna choose there? Or?
No, it's gonna be. I know exactly what the quote is. It's from It's a Yoda quote from Revenge of the Sith. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. And a lightsaber is going right down the middle.
That's a good one.
Done. I can't fucking wait for that thing. Cannot wait.
Yeah, that's a good one, man. I'm gonna eventually get a tattoo in my life. I just don't know. To me, it's gotta be one of those things where I'm like, it's gotta be like it's important for me.
Bears.
So what's that? Bears.
Just Cody Barkey double doink.
You know what? If they could actually put a team together that doesn't make me disappointed at the film, then yeah, maybe we'll get back to that. But I'm not in a good place with my fandom right now, at least for the Bears. Not entirely Chicago sports. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm disappointed in the Cubs. They've let their prime years waste away since 2016. But like the Bulls are on the rise. The Blackhawks are good.
The Bulls will be good for in a little bit.
Yeah, I mean that's the team that gives me optimism. I'm not a Sox fan, so like the Cubs are my baseball team, and then the Blackhawks have been rebuilding.
They're on the rise. They need a really good goaltender, and they'll be really good.
And that's the weakest sport I'm like knowledge wise is hockey. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
You can call me out. I was one of those guys that followed the Blackhawks during their dynasty years.
Well, you're you're a Chicago sports fan, so I can understand that. If you're like fucking Kentucky or some shit, following the Blackhawks because they won 3 cups in 6 years.
Yeah, I mean, we got like morning news. You hear about them, and I did follow. I watched the Stanley Cups or follow them. Hell, I followed their one against the Bruins when I was over in doing a trip to Europe with my mom. So that was just keeping up on their sports center out there, trying to make sure that was going right.
But as an Islander fan myself, being used to disappointment from you being a Bears fan, I mean that's nothing new for me. So I'm disappointed myself, as I'm concerned, for the Yankees. Excuse me.
Wait a minute. You're concerned for the New York Yankees.
Hear me out.
I'm going to. I'm just. You're telling me the team that has usually the most cash in the MLB.
It's not even that. No, it's not
guys.
even the team concern. I'm not concerned about. They'll be fine. They're going to be. They could finish with like 10 wins in 162 games and still be fine. Because you know why? They're printing cash.
Okay. So what's your concern then?
I grew up in a family of Met fans. So most of my family are Met fans. I'm probably one of like 2 or 3 Yankee fans in my entire family. Like we're going like my immediate family to outside of the family. Like I'm one of maybe 3 Yankee fans. So I have a soft side for the Mets. And it's stupid, I know.
Oh, this sounds like to me, you let this in, I'm just thinking, oh, you're concerned just for your safety. That's all this is.
No, I just hate the complaining that I see all the time on Twitter. It's like, oh, we need this. Like, guys, you at minimum win 100 games a year. You're fine. Stop it. We don't need Bryce Harper. We don't need, we don't need Bryce Harper and Manny Machado at the same fucking time. We don't need them.
I don't follow Yankees Twitter or like anything, but
shit show.
Just come on.
So bad.
Come on.
They're so fucking spoiled.
all the stuff that you have, and the problem is just getting over the damn hump. That's all it is.
That's all it is. I'm an Islander fan. I've been used to fucking disappointment for 20 damn years. Oh, you call me a spoiled fan, you stadium. I'm calling you out, assholes.
Well, at least the Islanders, from what I understand, they solid squad this year.
They're a cup contender this year. They're a cup contender this year. They have some struggles, but they are a cup contender once they get their asses right. The Seahawks, don't get me fucking started on them.
Yeah, go completely opposite coast for that one.
Oh my god, it's not even that. Don't get me fucking started on the inconsistency of those fuckers. I loved their free agency though. I did. I loved their free agency period.
Oh hey, we actually have a conversation to catch up on, because remember on the show, on the regular Tiny BS show, we had talked about how Russell Wilson, I thought, was going to be going to Chicago because they were done set.
I did too.
Didn't happen, Yeah. But you get to keep Russ. You get to keep Russ.
Yeah, fuck Pete.
Maybe if I say it more, you'll get happier about it. You get to keep Russ.
He's not giving up his money to give us more shit. Oh god! I mean, if I had $35 million per year, I for sure would not give that shit up. I don't blame him on that part.
He's got to help Ciara out,
Oh, for God's sakes, Ciara, what have you done? What have you done besides produce 2 good albums?
Well,
and marry Future.
I didn't even know that either, though. I'm not really Here's the thing. I didn't know that, but like, honestly, you talk to me any time, I'm just like, dear God, celebrity shows, or like, dear God, celebrities that aren't like NFL stars, get them away from me.
Be gone from me.
I don't need to know about the Kardashians. Let them be themselves.
I don't need to know about what's going on with the Kardashians or the Jenners. I don't need to know about your bullshit. Thank you.
Oh my God. Did you hear Kim divorced Kanye West? Yeah, I did, because I was expecting that at some point in my life. What, you don't know? I do every now and then.
Was that your impersonation of of fucking Instagram?
Like, I'm going to take a picture of my ass, and it's going to get so many likes.
Oh god. Oh, it's so fucking dumb. I'm sick of, because it's modern day, celebrities and media in general. Like, fuck. Take me back to the days where Instagram was a place to take really good photos and not, promoting your fake ass.
Yeah. Well, we used to make fun of it for food pics, but now it's just influencer central. So
yeah, TikTok especially.
Oh God. Yeah. I unfortunately made a TikTok just so I can be like, I guess I can try and promote the podcast here. And then I'm just like, oh, I don't really know if I want to still. Like, it's not completely for me, I've seen like one good clip, and the only thing I'm gonna say about it. So this was a clip. It's like you got 2 Ronald McDonald, like they're guys dressed as Ronald McDonald standing on the side of the road, and there's some hip hop track playing in the background. And one of them has a pie, and here comes like a guy in like a Nissan GTR.
Oh,
black with shade, and all the dude just whips the pie at the front windshield. And all of a sudden the guy gets maybe 20 feet after the stop, and you just see the camera just shake and run. Completely off guard. That's the only thing I've laughed, like sat there and watched like maybe 10 times in a row. I was just like, I have to mesmerize as Ronald McDonald's blasting a cream pie into some dude's car, and he's gonna go whoop his ass after that.
I whooped both of their asses. Thank you. Oh God. Well, I use Twitter more. I use Facebook. Like I'll go on Twitter, like I'll scroll bullshit and see what's up, and I'll log off. But I find myself checking more and more because free agency and the draft prospects and all that.
Oh sure.
The NHL trade line was this past week, so I've been scrolling through that, and I post NHL news on your stadium, and I'm also like posting my articles and shit on there, which I used to do NFL previews like a madman. On Time to BS, I did NFL previews where I did a different division for each episode. And what I want to do next is I want to do with the blogs, where I want to do each division, one blog per division. And so I go in-depth analysis on each team because I go all out. I have, predictions that I go back to, how far do I go? 2018, 2017, I think. And
Okay.
I was close enough, actually, in terms of predictions. Like for the AFC, I had Baltimore 15-1. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Kansas City 12-4, close. Buffalo 12-4, close. Indianapolis 11-5. New England, I had them making the playoffs because the Patriots.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, and then oh god, I had the Jets.
You did? Like this year, right?
This year.
Like past season?
This past season.
Oh, my dear friend.
Oh god.
Oh, my dear friend.
In the NFC, I had Dallas 13-3, Seattle 12-4, New Orleans, Chicago, San Francisco, Green Bay, and then the Rams.
Well, I mean, Chicago made it, but
I was partially right.
Of course, I mean, yeah, but if you talk to me, I didn't really care. I really didn't want to make it, honestly.
No, I know you didn't.
And it's mostly just how the season went. I was just like, you know what, F this. Like, either A, we get some firings and hit restart, or we just get out of the playoffs, get better draft position, and then we can move from here. At least get some sort of thing I'm positive on. Besides,
my condolences with Andy Dalton being your starting quarterback.
You know what? I've finally just have become numb with it. I'm like, we had so much chatter on Beyond the Press Box about it, where I'm like, fine, I've accepted my fate. It is all well and done.
It's not like he's a terrible quarterback. He's all right. He's all right.
He still can do things. It's just that, Russell Wilson was kind of the convo beforehand, and that was what was going to be expected. So that's what happened. But now there's talks that they'll move up possibly to the fourth spot because they're apparently, last I heard, they're competing with the Broncos to move up to 4 with where Atlanta's picking.
Why?
QB.
But I know, but why? That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know what I have to say else besides the QB. I mean, they're not going to get...
Mac Jones will be there at 20.
You say that, but the stock says no. Do you take a risk at 20? That's the question I have for you. So you think that you're just going to sit there and wait after the stock just keeps going?
Who the fuck is going to... So let me get this straight here. So Lawrence and Wilson are probably 1 and 2. Let's be clear with that. Lawrence and
most likely 1 and 2 anymore.
They're most likely going to be 1 and 2. From there, it's a crapshoot because Justin Fields at potentially a 3. I have him going 3. As I have him fit because he reminds me of a shorter RG3. He's got the mobility to be RG3.
Okay, well, I guess rookie RG3 is a good comparison.
And
so
I've seen Justin Fields because I'm a Big Ten guy. I'm a Penn State fan. So I've seen Justin Fields play. He's a pocket passer of an RG3. He's got the arm and he's got the mobility. And from there, it's Trey Lance, which he played 1 game last year.
Yep.
Okay, cool. And then Mac Jones, which I thought was probably the 3rd best quarterback in that class. But because his stock and Alabama prospects are so poorly rated over the last 40 years, I mean, name a really good Alabama quarterback outside of Joe Namath as man in the NFL.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not going to give you an honest opinion or something that is like a stretch because I've also been that guy. It's like, hey, Alabama's definitely more on the talent, and then they don't, and then the person goes to the NFL and goes, crap, I'm going to a garbage team. I
Yeah,
didn't get
exactly.
used to this.
Exactly.
So,
But like, I loved Mac Jones. I love him. I feel like I'm on the same boat with him as opposed to AJ McCarron. When AJ McCarron came out of college into the NFL draft, I thought, okay, whoever takes him and whoever makes him as the starting quarterback is going to make him a winner. He is a natural winner. Jake Fromm was the same thing for me.
yeah,
Jake Fromm is a winner. And I don't care if you're throwing for 5,000 yards, 50 touchdowns and 2 picks. Are you winning the game? That's all that matters. That's all that matters. Are you winning the game? And Fromm and McCarron were doing that. They were doing that with Alabama and at Georgia. They were doing that.
yeah.
And Fromm is now a backup quarterback, and God knows where he's going to end up now.
I think the last time I heard he was in Buffalo.
God knows how, because Trubisky's with
Right.
So I don't know what's going to happen. McCarron is a free agent now, but I want him as my backup in Seattle because you have a competent backup. God forbid Wilson gets hurt. Knock on wood. God forbid Wilson gets hurt. McCarron is a quality, stopgap. He's not a bad player. But with Mac Jones, I thought, okay, he can move in the pocket. He can escape the pocket when he can or when he has to. And he's got the arm strength. Now, the knock on him is that, okay, who were his weapons? That's the knock on him.
Yeah, that's a tough call.
That's the knock on him because it's the same thing with Clemson, too. Because with Trevor Lawrence and with Deshaun Watson, like clockwork receivers. They're pumping receivers out like clockwork.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even like Alabama's a factory now, and even Ohio State's becoming that too.
Yeah.
You
Exactly. So if you're like a big name school with a big name quarterback, I don't trust it. Except if you're like, okay, Trevor Lawrence, I knew would be special from his first national title game against Alabama. Because
I don't think anyone saw that one coming, honestly.
To destroy the Tide the way he did was like, I was doing when I did the sports game, God knows how long ago, with Mike with Air Raid, and we did it's kind of a live stream broadcast of that national title game, and I told him this is either going to be a blowout or a shootout. I was right on one part.
Yeah, you were, because I was kind of hoping it would be somewhat of a shootout because. Yeah, that was my hope. My theory was it was going to be the blowout, but
yeah, it was not going to touch the 06 Rose Bowl though. That is probably the greatest football game ever played.
Oh, I mean, man, you got to be kidding me if it ever would. I mean, we're talking. I mean, Vince Young, Matt Leinart at the time, Reggie Bush in my opinion, his top tier, like ever performances, or at least not performance, but his top tier ability at that time, coming his last year. So.
It's a shame he never really panned out on the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, he was a flashy player, but, people thought he would be one of the next great running backs, and he was more of a great gadget player.
Yeah.
Which, that's okay. It gives you winning formula. He won a Super Bowl in New Orleans, so,
I loved that Saints team.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So, I'm the same way.
Loved that Saints team. Such a good team. Say what you want about the Bounty Gate scandal, but that was a fucking great team.
Yeah, fair point. And for me, this was it was just 3 years removed from the Bears losing to the Colts back then. So I was just more happy to be like, well, I get at least to watch revenge a bit. I actually never finished the Super Bowl 41 when Chicago was in it because at that time I was
that game was over.
Yeah, well, that was over, and I was much more of an angry fan as a kid. And my dad basically just told me to not coming back into the room. He's just like,
Rex Grossman.
I used to have a Rex Grossman jersey. No lie. I wanted, I don't know. He was the starting quarterback. I wanted the orange jersey. The 8 looked nice on the jersey. And number 8 for Chicago is just kind of a weird number anymore. I mean,
that man started for 10 years in the NFL. That man started 10 years in the NFL.
He was in the NFL for a bit. Even, like I said, you're even right. He had a year where he was mainly the starter for the Redskins, even after his Bears tenure.
Oh God, 2011.
Yeah,
That.
he had time. He got his money. He had a career. Got to a Super Bowl berth. Just wasn't good enough to give that defense a chance to keep up with Manning.
Oh, Jesus. Fucking infuriating. Every time I watched him play, I'm like, this guy is either going to throw 16 interceptions or he's like Ken O'Brien. Great example. If you want to throw Jets quarterbacks in there. Ken O'Brien was a thorn in my family's side, from Jet fandom for a long time. He would either throw, 52% completion percentage with like 4 interceptions, and then he'll go against Dan Marino and he'll throw 6 touchdowns. Like, what the hell was this? What the hell was this?
Right.
He and Dan Marino have some unbelievable quarterback battles. Unreal. Those are fucking great.
Oh God, man, I always wish Marino had gotten one. I know that would have been weird for New Yorkers to hear that, but still, all the records, all the fame, the loyalty to one franchise his entire career.
How the hell he won to 1 Super Bowl is unreal to me.
And it was early on, only in the early 80s.
With Don Shula as his head coach.
Yeah.
Granted, not the best Shula, but it's Don Shula nonetheless. Any South Florida sports fans that are listening right now are going to punch me in the face. I respect.
Hey, you asked that question though. I mean, Marino was insane, but just the loyal. I mean, that's a conversation I've had with some buddies before, and it's a weird pivot, but it's like I love how this pivots. Is like, and this is seen. You talk with this NBA, like how much do you rely on the loyalty to a team versus just going for a ring? Say the dirtiest word.
That's why I respect guys like Kobe Bryant, because to me, I can make an argument that Kobe Bryant is the best player of all time. Because how often do you stay for 20 years with one team? And all he would talk about was hard work. Jordan was an asshole. I say that, I'm sure you can agree with me on that one.
As I've gotten older, I've done more and more looking into Jordan. Yes,
Jordan was an asshole.
I will say he was an asshole. Yes.
But when people think of all-time greatest basketball players, they think LeBron, they think of Jordan. And Kobe's always third. I'm like, oh, there is an argument out there for Kobe as the greatest of all time. And it infuriates me. I'm not even a Laker fan, but I respect Kobe to the highest order. I'm a Knicks fan.
Right. I mean, hey, talk about struggles. Although,
yeah,
Knicks have been surprising this year.
They have,
and I've been
coaching matters, NBA.
Well, and look, after what happened after having Minnesota, I didn't have faith he would change that around in a season. But they've done enough to where they're 6th in the East and rattle off 5 straight against winning teams. And
yeah, I know it's
best defensive team in the NBA.
I fucking tell people all the time, coaching matters. It's not just you can have, that's why I feel like it's going to happen with the Chiefs. Andy Reid is going to retire. They're going to hand it off to Eric Bieniemy, and they're not going to be the same because Andy Reid is a fucking great coach. Great coach. The fact that people think that, they have Mahomes, they have Kelsey, they have Hill, who shouldn't be in the fucking league, by the way. Asshole. But that's another story for another time.
Yeah. Good God.
But to say that, the Chiefs are going to be fine without Andy Reid, clearly do not watch, football for, analyzing the game. Because I know this from my perspective as a Seahawk fan. Jim Moore was my head coach in 2009.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
When Mike Holmgren left and Jim Moore took over, and when Pete Carroll took over a year later, it was all right, but Jim Moore went 5-11.
It's
That
kind
was
of
a
strange.
really bad team.
That is strange for me to think about. I've kind of forgotten when that transition took place for the Seahawks, because I knew Holmgren was there well into the 2000s.
Yeah,
but
Holmgren was
I
there
didn't.
for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew Pete Carroll was like 2011 ish. I just forgot, like, damn it, I didn't remember the middle part of
Yeah.
it at all.
I love the Holmgren. Like, people want to fucking test me. Like, okay, I grew up in the Mike Holmgren era. Like, that's how far I go. And people think, oh, you're a Pete Carroll guy. Like, fuck that. You muted yourself.
It happens. I was making sure I didn't type it because I was looking up Sean Alexander. Just trying to.
2005 MVP.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that people like disrespect him, like, first of all, people praise LaDainian Tomlinson because he had 31 touchdowns. Sean Alexander had one of the best offensive lines ever in 2005. 28 touchdowns in that year. Single-handedly carried Matt Hasselbeck to an All-Pro and MVP consideration. Single-handedly. And the fact that man is not getting, Hall of Fame consideration is insane to me.
I wonder if and when that'll happen, if it's going to be later on.
Edgerrin James made the Hall of Fame.
He did.
Put that in perspective. Sean Alexander was an infinitely better running back than Edgerrin fucking James. To a degree.
Yeah, I mean, that's a...
Are we talking Edgerrin James to the Colts or the Cardinals?
No, we're talking Colts Edgerrin James,
Yeah,
not Cardinals Edgerrin James. Dear God, no.
Duh.
Yeah, no, I ain't talking that version. It's like anyone who talks Cowboys is like, you don't talk about Emmitt Smith going to the Cardinals.
No. I know.
No one acknowledges that.
I know a couple of Cowboy fans like, Emmitt Smith went to the Cardinals? I didn't know that.
Yeah, because they suppressed it for so long. They just pushed it back in there.
They tell me the same thing. We don't talk about this in Cowboys country.
I wonder, like, and this wasn't a bad tenure too, like, talk about players like that. I wonder how many people forgot, like, Jerry Rice was on the Oakland Raiders at one point.
People forget he was on the Seahawks.
Which also, I did forget that.
2004, yeah.
Just now. I forgot that just now.
I remember that too. They unretired Steve Largent's number for Jerry Rice.
Ooh, hard sell.
That's disrespectful to me.
Yeah.
That's disrespectful.
Hard sell.
Because Steve Largent is, at best, the third best receiver in NFL history.
Mm-hmm.
And probably the greatest player in franchise history.
Yeah, I think at this time, he is. I'm curious, what's like your top three then?
This is easy. Steve Largent, Walter Jones, Russell Wilson. Top three.
Okay.
If you want to go a fourth one in there, Kenny Easley.
Yeah.
Kenny Easley was, the original enforcer for the NFL back in the day. Like, there was no such thing as an enforcer at safety until Kenny Easley was there. And it took him a long damn time for that man to get in the Hall of Fame. Long damn time. And when he finally got in, I'm like, yes! I loved Kenny Easley. Loved him. And
yeah.
Well,
yeah. I think it's something you got to know with any fans, like that rush that you're talking about Rushmore earlier. It's like, top three at least. Got to have a three. So
yeah, you gotta have the three in there.
Yeah,
gotta have Russ in that discussion. Excuse me, whiskey burns. This burns from time to time. Probably because I'm going straight whiskey.
I was on the rocks here for most of it, but my cube is gone. So now it's just mostly just straight this little gem here.
Ooh.
Love.
Ooh.
I've been really enjoying me some Buffalo Trace today.
Ooh. I gotta find that.
Slightly sweeter ting. But
I'm a sweet guy. I go for flavor when it comes to my whiskey. Like, okay, I could care less if I get drunk. I don't want to get drunk. But like, it drives my family nuts. Like, you won't have, vodka or beer or some shit? No. because it drives them nuts when I go out to dinner with them. and I get a glass of Jack Daniel and I get a whiskey cocktail. It's like, you fucking kidding me? Like, I like my whiskey. I like my whiskey.
It's just, I mean, to me, it's just been common for me since I've been there, and since I've been drinking, and like, you know, I'm right above, you know, bourbon country, and you know, I mean,
Yes.
the two biggest bourbon whiskey areas in the country with Kentucky and Tennessee, you know, I'm right above them. So
you know what's another good one? Pennsylvania has some good whiskey.
I didn't know that. I mean, the first thing that comes to mind in Pennsylvania for me is Yingling.
Moonshine.
What?
Moonshine.
Moonshine. Okay. That doesn't even come to mind to me either, man. I think like South and North Carolina when I think moonshine.
No, moonshine, because I know people that make their own moonshine. I won't say who they are because
I'll leave that alone too.
Let
them keep making it.
But they're really cool people, and they make like a strawberry watermelon moonshine. Oh, it's so good.
Ooh, I mean, I could probably get the hookup for apple pie moonshine, and I'm talking homemade.
The trick that they do is that they still in fruit. They mix it in fruit while it's being made.
So we're talking some actual watermelon here.
Correct. Yes. So they throw in actual watermelon. They throw in berries. They throw in fuck knows what in there. And I can ask them if like they could come up with like an apple flavored moonshine, but I think that's pretty common, to my knowledge.
Yeah. I mean, hey, apple cinnamon basically tastes like apple pie, you know.
Yeah.
Good stuff. At least the ones that my the family friends make.
Now I want to get pie. Now I want to get some pie.
Nah, I'm good. I mean, hey, I'm fine with dessert. It's just like, I don't know, like today I've been like, I've been full from lunch.
Oh, really? What'd you get for lunch?
Subway.
Fucking hell. I had a salad. No, actually, that's a lie. I made chicken, teriyaki, and rice.
Okay, so yeah, I mean,
I went for a run this morning, so I had to get some carbs in me.
How do you enjoy running? Because I can never get into running.
So what I do is that I do every now and then I'll go for a run, but what I usually do is I go for short 20-yard sprints because it actually burns more fat. Because you don't want to burn all the fat. You need fat in your diet.
Right.
But because fat is energy. You know, carbs to a degree is energy. And, you know, people like, my trainer's going to drive me fucking nuts when he hears this. But because he's a strict protein-based diet. Like, you've got to have over 200 grams of protein in your diet. It's like, no, you don't. It's a bit much. Because protein itself, if you're not careful, too much protein turns into, I think it turns into fat or some shit. I could be wrong, but
I think the last time I talked with someone about like excess protein, it's like, it's just easier to get, or just your body finds a way to get rid of it faster is what I was told.
Like I'm building muscle. I'm building muscle in my shoulders and my neck region and my arms and my legs, especially. Dear God, my legs hurt. But it currently hurts to sit down. But
as we're sitting here recording,
down recording a podcast for 45 minutes, actually, an hour and 10 minutes. So, but what I usually tell people is like, okay, like. Intermittent fasting is actually one of the best things you can do for you because you're training yourself to not eat as much. I see the concern there.
No, and it's more me going, you might be onto something. Look, I'm that guy that I'm going to tell you right now, I'll have a meal and I'm like, I think I'll be good. But then I usually stay up later because I'm doing this stuff like editing and all that. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, what's in my fridge? And it's like, we'll nibble this, and then eventually have maybe a whole meal's worth of nibbling after you're
Yeah.
done getting through it. You know,
What I usually do is that I do what I used to do is I used to do 1 or 2 meals a day. Because what I was doing was I wanted to decrease, the protein and fat intake and focus on my body trying to break down the fat, which it was. It was doing it. And I started to get into intermittent fasting and then eventually prolonged fasting, which don't do that. That's a terrible idea. But
okay.
Yeah, I did 48 hours straight of no eating.
That sounds horrible.
It was horrible. It was really bad.
Yeah, that just sounds horrible.
Don't do that. But
thanks for experimenting for me, so I know to not do what I already thought I was going to do.
Fasting. Like you can do short fasts of like 16 or 20 hours.
Okay, so that's kind of the time frame then, if it's intermittent, right?
Correct. That's a short fast. Like a short fast technically is like 13 hours.
Okay.
But that's like lunch and then like a late dinner. But I usually test myself to not eat past 7 o'clock. So
ooh, that is a goal. That would be a goal of mine right there. I think that would
what I do is that what I'm starting to do now is I'll have, like a 4-ounce steak, 2 eggs. That's my breakfast. That's literally my breakfast.
Steak and eggs, not bad.
Yeah, it's basic shit. And then I'll bring with me like a small bag of carrots, and I'll have it like 10 o'clock. And then at 12, I'll get my lunch, and I'll use it. It's like an 8-ounce piece of chicken, 2 more eggs, and then that's lunch. And I'll bring another bag of carrots, and then I'll have that at like 2 o'clock. And then once 5, like most of the time I'm back home from work in the gym at like 6 p.m. So I usually have, when I have time, I have a half hour of eating. And so I usually have, another piece of chicken or a piece of steak, some sliced peppers and eggs. But like I'm ramping up the protein, ramping up the fat. Like I'm not having any carbs, I'm not having any sugar, I'm not having any of that shit. And that's the thing that people don't understand. It's like you gotta have fat in your diet. You
Right.
don't need all these processed, seed oils. Your body doesn't know what the fuck to do with like canola oil or corn syrup or shit like that. It's like, what the fuck are you putting in me, man?
Oh my god, that is an ultimate crux of mine. Still is soda, except now it's morphed from regular to diet, just because I can't take the heavier syrups.
Hey, diet ginger ale is delicious.
It is. It is
Diet
good.
ginger ale is delicious. That's the king of soda in my eyes. Fuck
Okay, I don't know about
Coca-Cola.
king of soda. I mean,
Fuck you, Coca-Cola, you piece of shit.
I'm a Dr. Pepper guy. That's
I like Dr. Pepper too.
That's my main squeeze right there.
Diet Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
Oh, if you want to go even better, cherry flavored Pepsi.
Yeah, I mean, I love wild cherry Pepsi's good stuff. And actually, you're talking Dr. Pepper, so they just made a 0 sugar version, by the way, which it's basically, imagine if you're trying regular Dr. Pepper, but you don't have to worry about having the grams of sugar, and it's just credit's still the chemicals in there, but it tastes like regular Dr. Pepper, but it says 0 sugar on it, and you wouldn't even know the difference at all, and I've been amazed since. So
I used to fucking drink Mountain Dew all the time.
Yeah. I wasn't a Mountain Dew guy, but soda still is a crux of mine.
It is a crapshoot. But I quit beer and I quit coffee. Like as I'm holding a bottle of Guinness.
Coffee, that's interesting, because I know some guys that they used to do coffee like lunches. Like it would just be, I'll do a cup of coffee that's filling enough, get through lunch.
So what I do is I drink green tea. Not like, not like your processed tea. I'm talking like brewed green tea.
Okay.
Because there's enough caffeine in you, there's enough caffeine to have a cup of coffee with. But there's also antioxidants in there, there's your vitamins in there, and you have it with the green tea. What I usually do is I cheat and I have a tiny teaspoon of honey with it too.
Oh, see, that's nice though.
It is
better than processed sugar.
It is nice, but yeah. That's why I do. I'm talking like buckets of green tea, like probably enough to fill this up twice a day.
My God.
A day.
A day?
A day. That's 2 of those a day of green tea.
Oh my God.
It's not
I
pleasant.
mean, it's better than like other stuff like 2 things of soda. So I can argue that's a good choice. You know, it's mostly water.
Yeah.
So nailing it. You know, nailing it. But I'll tell you that's a crux of mine is soda and definitely eating late. And I just I think I get bored, you know? I think I just
Yeah.
get bored.
Yeah. But it's always fun to experiment, when it comes to diet. But I haven't had like fast food in what feels like 3 months.
Oh, yeah. Although Subway can be argued as kind of fast food.
Yeah,
So.
like I haven't touched Wendy's, Taco Bell, Burger King. Like I go to the deli every now and then, but that's pretty much it. Like
Fair.
I don't go to like fucking yeah, I'll go to Hooters or Buffalo Wild Wings. Like if I have a craving for wings, I'll especially go to Hooters. Eh, but can't complain with that. But
Hey, I mean the wings are awesome. That's all I'm gonna
how
tell
the
you.
fuck are they not sponsoring Time to BS? I have no idea. How the fuck is Hooters?
You just gotta walk in there and be like,
hey.
I'm a regular patron. I live in the area. I can get you some people over there.
You like tits and wings?
Oh God. Oh no. Oh no.
That would be a terrible ad.
Oh, in this day? Yeah, that would be god awful.
That'd be funny.
Cancel Hooters. Here we go.
Oh God. That's the funny thing. I want to get to cancel culture. Oh my God. People want to talk about cancel culture and everything. How the fuck is Hooters still in business? That's what I don't get.
I'm kind of surprised too that people aren't like, hey, how are we still in this?
How the hell is Hooters still in business?
Like some of the people I'd be like, why are we talking about this? And then everyone else is like, just shut up. Like it's okay.
How the hell
the
is
food's
Herbert
good? Let's not get rid of that,
It's even funnier. How the hell is Herbert the Pervert still a character on Family Guy? How the hell is Quagmire still a character on Family Guy? How the hell does this make sense?
I don't know. I process it as it comes, man. That's all I do.
Oh, this is my fucking wheelhouse right here. People want to talk about, cancel culture, canceling music, certain types of music because it's offensive to women or offensive to babies or offensive to children. When Wet Ass Pussy was the #1 song on the market. Explain this shit.
Oh man. Oh man.
WAP by Cardi B was the #1 song on billboards. How the hell does that make sense?
I still haven't listened to it because I just don't care, by the way. But like the name one, I'm like, oh boy.
How the hell?
I hear about the music video. I go, oh God.
I watched the music video. I watched it for the first time. When I first heard that song, I saw the music video. I'm like, this is not going to go well, is it? This is not going to go well. I can already tell. Like, oh my fucking God. And it gets even funnier. Chris Brown is still making music.
That is something that is indeed happening.
How the fuck did that happen?
It's like we all just went really quiet and like, go on with your life, buddy.
Ooh. Chris Brown really beats up Rihanna like to a pulp, and he's still making music.
Hard to imagine.
People are just like, nope, nothing happened. Nothing happened here.
Well, he took his lumps. What's the big deal? That's what it feels like.
Like I'm out in a cigar and I'm like, what you doing there, boy? Trying to get away from this shit? Oh my God. What a fucking scumbag. Oh, I'm gonna give you funnier people. And I've noticed something where, since coronavirus is starting to dial down, Jeffrey Epstein's case is
God, what is that even still going on?
Probably not, because I've been on this before he was murdered. I'm conspiracy theorist galore. And
damn the conspiracy theorists! Here we come.
The conspiracy theorists, and I have been on this saying that the U.S. government is fully, and Hollywood especially is behind, so much bullshit. That's why I got the Society of Scoundrels on BS Sessions, as I knew this would be in their wheelhouse.
That was I did listen to a bit of that.
That was awesome.
They had some comments on their time on their one of the recent
so awesome. I gotta have them on again eventually.
Oh Jesus, man! Their show kills me.
They're so funny.
Their show kills me.
But, I miss the old days of music, because I grew up in a hard rock era. My dad raised me with Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, you fucking name it, and I listen to today's music find the nearest garbage can, please.
Well, yeah, that's part of it. Something that I've noticed is, at least in the last 15 years, more like 10 years, really, because even in the mid 2000s, even like 05 was kind of different,
Yeah.
So I'll give it a pass. Like 2000s, I'll give it a pass. But like 2010 through now, where we're at this moment in time, you go in the pop charts and you listen to like the type of voice they want to hear from women or men, and it's a very specific type of it's like kind of like a inflection on how you sing. It's not too much differentiation between what they want to do, especially for female artists. Like they're like, people want specific female tone. It sounds like, at least and this is me basing it off my pop music listening. If someone has a different opinion, that's fine. Yeah. But like, to me, a lot of female artists sound very similar anymore. And if I didn't know that from the beginning, I could be like, I don't know who the hell this is. I like the song, but I don't know who the hell this artist is at this point.
So if I were to tell you my playlist, which consists of, I gotta find exactly how many songs I have on this playlist. It's got to be well over 300. 467 songs of 39 hours and 32 minutes of music. That is my playlist.
Wow.
So my playlist consists of the following: Billy Joel, Train, Coldplay, Goo Goo Dolls, I kid you not, Elton John, Michael Jackson, some Bob Marley in there, but some EDM bullshit, but I don't follow it to a degree. Dead Mouse, you might know them.
Yeah, I know a bit. I know a little bit.
And then we go to R&B, Al Green, Sam Cooke, Marvin Gaye, Mary J. Blige, Billy Withers, Jennifer Lopez, but like old J-Lo.
Okay.
Mark Morrison, Return of the Mac. And then we get to the rap part, which is like specifically 90s rap. That was the golden age.
Ooh, so yeah, we ain't going into the okay.
Nate Dogg, Warren G, Tupac, Gangstar, Jay-Z, Ice Cube, Wu-Tang Clan, and some Eminem in there. And then we get to disco. Yes, I have
disco.
Yes, I have a disco.
This is all in your playlist, by the way.
All my playlists.
Same one.
Rockwell, Prince, Saturday Night Fever soundtrack.
Okay.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Okay, you gotta add that.
Cool in the Gang, Commodores. Oh God!
You're hitting all the stops. That's all the stops.
Then we get to jazz.
How do you stop for a sec? How do you add jazz into the same play? Like, this is just standard, like listening, anything goes type of thing.
I have a specific order of which I have my music, which I go to. There you are. Playlist order: alternative, pop, reggae, EDM, R&B, rap, disco, jazz, grunge, hard rock, country, blues, metal, southern rock, and rock.
All right.
That's like 15 different kinds of music. So Kenny G, already lost you.
Kenny G.
Yeah. Then we get to the grunge. Chili Peppers.
Okay.
Foo Fighters. Audio Slave. Nirvana. Pearl Jam. Creed. Creed back in the heyday.
See, I definitely jammed to Creed still now.
Oh yeah.
That's a regular still.
And then we get to like hard rock, Limp Bizkit, Evanescence,
you lead right off of Limp Bizkit. Great start.
Hinder,
Okay.
good band. Seether, Coheed and Cambria, Great White, Beck, Rage Against the Machine. I just have all sorts of shit in here.
Beck as well. Okay.
System of a Down, Def Leppard.
Def Leppard. Dude, I love Def Leppard though. Like that one. God, I love Def Leppard, man.
Oh, it gets even better. Three Doors Down, Shine Down,
Okay.
Dropkick Murphs.
Ooh.
Really good. And then we get to country, which consists of fuck knows what. Dierks Bentley, Cole Swindle, John Party, Luke Combs is in there somewhere.
All right.
Darius Rucker, what's his face? Hootie and the Blowfish.
Basically Darius Rucker Part 2.
Yeah, Darius Rucker Part 2. Creed Fisher, Zach Brown, Chris Stapleton was my fucking favorite. Morgan Wallen, which is, not fun today. George Strait, George Jones. And then we get the blues, which is, you probably won't know these guys. Beth Hart, Joe Bonamassa.
Oh, yeah. Hey. Joe Bonamassa. Now, that one is an interesting. That one's an interesting story. First off, great music. I actually didn't really know the talent or really realize how good he was before then.
He's from here.
I didn't. Is he?
He's from New York, yeah.
Okay. That good tie there. My tie for him is that the radio station I used to work at, the one show I would do of the two on the weekends, the host was a massive Joe Bonamassa fan.
Yeah.
And basically, he relegated to play Joe Bonamassa's the intro outro music every show.
Yeah.
And so the only exception was, I think it was Muddy Waters was the opening theme song. Otherwise, all the intro outro or all the intros had to be Joe Bonamassa.
Yeah.
So
you know this guy.
I definitely got used to Joe Bonamassa by the end of my tenure.
Another one, Gary Clark Jr.
Yes, and I like Gary Clark Jr. And honestly, same thing. Similar line of music. So like, I actually would sometimes sneak in Gary Clark to like do that. He would be okay with it, but you knew he wanted Joe Bonamassa instead.
So, did I tell you how I got the nickname Staniel Smooth?
No, I do not know how you got that nickname. So you piqued my interest once more.
So
I mean, you piqued the whole show, but.
So the story goes, before I got into welding, into podcasting, I wanted to get into radio. And I wanted to get into, eventually go on Long Island radio station, start my own talk radio, show. And I had to come up with a stage name. And at one of my old jobs, I worked with a guy who's from Brooklyn, and he said, "You have a very Stan type of vibe with you."
Stan?
The fuck does that mean? Like, you're very chill, you're very laid back, but you also have a good, a good energetic side to you. It's like, okay, cool. I guess I can work with that.
That's not a bad compliment.
And then I started playing jazz throughout the whole shop. And this is a big shop.
Okay.
So, like, he would say, "Hey, Staniel Smooth, turn that shit up." I'm like, I can work with this. And so I figured if I were to, start my own, radio station, it'd be like this. "Thank you guys for joining us here on Long Island's smooth jazz radio and blues extraordinaire. This is Staniel Smooth signing off here on the midnight shift with Joe Bonamassa's Slow Gin. Have a good night, guys."
Ooh. Slow Gin's a damn good song too, man.
Character or some shit, but if I look at Instagram, see the fucking Family Guy video I posted, it'd be like, "This is Han Solo, and I'm giving you guys cover for the next few hours right here on the late night shift." That's me. That's literally me. Like, yes, this is my character. But
you gotta have the personality, though, man. That's good. I mean, hey, I never had one, and that's mainly because I never got into like actually doing air check type of things. Because I was more producer, so like they just go by producer Zach.
Yeah.
Which I guess that's fine. but I don't
Oh,
know.
they don't call you Zack Attack or whatever.
Well, Zack Attack was like that was kind of a football thing when I was doing like kind of like middle school, high school football. I actually my nickname back in high school football was Pain Train, but
that was awesome. That's a great
but so one of the two names was more because I was cocky, and I'm not usually a cocky guy. Actually, I don't care. I'm more trying to be humble-ish, but I decided I was a freshman at the time in high school. I was like, all right, I'll put a nickname on my locker. And you got a bunch of seniors in there and they're like, what the hell is Pain Train? I put Pain Train on the locker because I had that on my custom Bears jersey, which I still have that today, by the way. And so I put it on there and they're like, what the hell is this? And I just ran with it,
Awesome.
But the other one, the one that really more stuck was Killerman. And the reason why, so for those of you that know, my last name's Keilman. So sometimes people will either miss for some reason they'll missay it, or they just will like shorten it. So my line coach decided that he would just say screw it, I'm not even going to try and pronounce it right. So he actually would pronounce it as Killerman to say my last name, and it just stuck as a nickname.
That's awesome.
After my freshman year.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean he never changed it too. Like he was dead set just saying Killerman the entire time, and he was my line coach for 4 years of high school. So he was
good shit.
He also was partially my wrestling coach for a little bit, so that just continued over there.
There you go. That'll do it. To continue with the music bullshit. Five Finger Death Punch.
Okay.
It's a metal. Black Sabbath.
Got to do Black Sabbath.
Metallica.
Got to do Metallica.
And it might be mixed in this one. Tool.
I've heard of Tool, but I can't say that I have listened much, if not at all, to Tool.
Really good. And then we get to Southern Rock, Bonnie Raitt.
Yep.
Kenny Wayne Shepherd.
Okay. Yeah.
ZZ Top.
Yeah. Oh, definitely ZZ Top.
Molly Hatchet.
Okay.
The Outlaws.
Yep.
Greengrass and High Tides.
Yes.
If you fucking know that song, it's awesome. Leonard Skinner. Gotta have Skinner.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you're doing Southern Rock.
And the Allman Brothers.
And you definitely got to have Allman Brothers, man. That one, them and ZZ Top are like, if I'm going to go out of that list, it's those top two for me. Skinner's good. I mean, I listen to Skinner,
And then we get to classic rock, or just regular rock, which Tom Petty.
Oh, yes.
Mountain, you might know them.
Yep, I do know the name.
Creedence Clearwater Revival.
It's got to have CCR.
Yeah, got to.
Joe
Satriani. You might know Joe Satriani.
Maybe.
Okay, he's from the island. He's from Long Island, but you might not know him. Okay, fine. Bon Jovi.
Oh, yes.
Jimi Hendrix.
Definitely, yes.
Steve Miller. You'll really get my
absolutely. Yes, that was my dad's favorite in high school, and so he definitely pushed that one on me.
Dire Straits.
Yep.
Queen.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Peter Gabriel.
Yeah, as you might be able to tell, classic rock's kind of more my wheelhouse.
Yes. Van Morrison.
Yep, absolutely Van Morrison.
Grateful Dead.
Absolutely Grateful Dead.
Good agree. Eagles.
Oh, definitely Eagles. You got to have Kansas. Oh, Carry On, man.
Aerosmith.
Yes, you're hitting all the ones I like listen to if I'm going to do classic rock.
And then we got two bands in here from today's generation later on. Pink Floyd.
Okay.
It's a long Pink Floyd. I have most of their Pulse live album on this one playlist, which is awesome.
Ooh. I mean, I've been listening. I mean, I do have Dark Side of the Moon on vinyl. I want to have The Wall on vinyl at some point. And I've been kind of getting back into Dark Side of the Moon is like listening off, like if I'm doing editing and it's not like needing heavy listening into like the audio, like say a video version of it. Yeah. Pink Floyd's usually my go-to where I'm just like, turn on Us and Them, chill for 7 minutes and get like relaxed.
Let's see what we got here. Fleetwood Mac.
Definitely.
And you might know them. Actually, you will know them because they're in your area. Greta Van Fleet.
Oh yes, absolutely, Greta Van Fleet.
Yes,
yeah, man.
Actually, I'm a bass guitarist, so I'm actually learning how to play your machine on bass guitar.
You play bass guitar?
I play bass guitar. Yep.
I did not know that.
I play bass guitar. Yeah, I'm music snob to the highest order.
I have a Stratocaster downstairs that I have had for a while, and I was somewhat trying to practice it. Haven't really touched in a while. More of my expertise was actually tenor saxophone in
I
middle school.
love saxophone.
Mm-hmm.
I used to call saxophone the sexophone.
Hey man, it's a sexy sound. You know, you
Yeah.
play it right. There's a reason why it's in those smooth pop or
AG.
rock. You know, yeah.
Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin.
Yep.
Like thousands of Led Zeppelin.
Gotta have some Led Zeppelin.
You might know them, you might not know them. Government Mule.
No, I definitely don't know Government Mule.
So you know the Allman Brothers.
Absolutely.
Warren Haynes, who's the guitarist of the Allman Brothers, actually is the lead singer and lead guitarist of Government Mule.
Okay, I'm gonna have to do some.
Phenomenal.
I'm gonna have to do some research after
and
this.
they're really good.
Okay.
So, what? He's a really, really good guitarist, and I saw him. I saw him live. I saw them live, and to this day, best concert I've been to. And for some reason, Eric Clapton is not on this playlist. Why?
I'm kind of shocked as you that Eric Clapton's not on there.
I don't know why I didn't put Clapton on this playlist yet.
I mean, at least have Cream or something.
Cream is on here. Cream is on here. I didn't.
Oh, so you kind of covered it. You kind of covered it.
Cream is on here. I didn't put Cream on here for some fucking reason. I don't know why. Oh, there it is. I found it. Eric Clapton and Steve Winwood live from MSG.
There you go.
Can't Find My Way Home.
There you
That's
go.
a really good album.
Mm-hmm.
Those music snobs, that was like the fucking best at that time.
You ever heard of Steely Dan?
Hell fucking yeah.
There you go. I was gonna say that now that if you're talking one that like exclusively, I know my mom was like is and still is very heavily involved and like listens to that since her youth and pushed that on us. Steely Dan is one that's like both me and my brother were like it's in our music library and it has to be, you know.
What else we got here in terms of like music selection? AC/DC's in there. Not as good, but still good nonetheless.
I mean, hey, AC/DC. I mean, now which era do you prefer though? That's
80s,
always the question.
80s and 70s.
Okay.
100%, not the new shit.
Fair point.
Beatles are in there, absolutely.
I gotta have the Beatles too.
Rolling Stones is in there.
If you have the Beatles, you have to have the Rolling Stones, or
you gotta have the Stones in there.
Mm-hmm.
I used to. Oh god, this is a great story. I would fucking whenever I would do my welding, I would always listen to "Miss You" by Rolling Stones. I always blast that song. I would find myself, dancing in the middle because I'm a closet dancer to a degree.
Na 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 na.
It's super catchy. It's so fucking catchy.
So good.
Billy Joel is also from Long Island. He's probably the most famous Long Islander.
Yeah, I mean that one right away is like, okay, it's definitely, he's definitely one from the area. I mean, New York State of Mind instantly comes to mind.
You know who is also a famous Long Islander that you probably would never guess? Hall of Famer Jim Brown.
No, I didn't realize he was from Long Island.
He's from Long Island.
I didn't know that.
People don't talk about it, but like he went to Syracuse. And who else? Who else is another good one? Natalie Portman, actress. She's from Long Island.
Did not know that.
Sue Bird, who is she's a 4-time WNBA champion. She's from Long Island.
Arguably right now the best WNBA player at this moment.
A fucking course. Yeah, I just added Clapton. I now have 474 songs on this one playlist.
Wow. I can't say I have that many, but I know I have a Spotify playlist that at least has a lot of songs, at least in the hundreds. I'm not going to grab my phone to check it right now. So, but I mean, 476. That's quite the variety for that.
Yeah. But I also learned to play some country every now and then. Rose Tattoo by Dropkick Murphys is one of my favorite songs. Oh, I love that shit. Who is this individual trying to message me? I don't know.
In the middle of the show. How dare they?
How dare they? Well, we're not even in history.
Don't you know that I am recording a show at this moment? Can't you just let me talk to my guest?
I'm not that much of a snob.
No, I know, but I like over amplifying that.
Oh, man. Oh, I think we're gonna end the show on that one.
Oh wow, okay, that was the final send off. We're just gonna.
Okay, because we've already been recording for an hour and 45 minutes.
Oh no, I'm messing around.
I know.
I'm just like, I am Dan. This is the end of the show. Have a good night. Glug glug glug.
I'm doing that as a fucking rejoin clip. I'm doing this as a rejoin clip. I'm immediately doing that. Oh, thank you guys for joining us for BS Sessions Volume 17. The next guest for Volume 18 is actually our very own the Unhinged Sports Network, Michael McClintock of the Air Raid Attack podcast. He's going to be joining us for BS Sessions. I'm shocked that we've been doing this show for so damn long. He hasn't done it yet.
Considering
BS Sessions yet.
Considering my understanding of your guys' backstory, that surprises me right now.
Yes. Considering how far I go back with him, it's crazy. It's crazy shit. But,
that sounds like fun.
oh, Zach, my man, thank you for doing this, man. This was a fun time.
Well, I should thank you for inviting me on. You know, I've been needing the time to relax and talk to a good buddy of mine. You know, it's not like I can just drive over to your place and say hi and have a few drinks. You know, but it's good to chat. You know, and I get to sit back, tell some good stories, and enjoy a nice few glasses of whiskey with a friend of mine. So
that's awesome, man.
I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us for BS Sessions Volume 17. We hope to see you guys sometime in the near future. Have a good one, guys.